Students, in the past few video sessions, we have learnt about electrostatics part 1 up to Gauss law. And from this video session, we are going to learn electrostatics part 2, which is in this part 2, we will be discussing about electrical capacitance and electrical capacitors. What is meant by electrical capacitance and how are electrical capacitors constructed? What are the uses of electrical capacitors, their units, and some circuit problems which are being repeatedly asked in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced and as well as NEET examination. So this chapter is very important as far as entrance examinations are concerned for JEE Mains, JEE Advanced and as well as NEET exam. So there are many numerical problems which are to be covered in this chapter. So without missing any video lecture, you be regular to these video sessions and learn this chapter thoroughly, so that definitely you may score 4 to 5 marks in your entrance examination. Right, we have already learnt about charging a body, charging a neutral body with respect to the ground in the previous chapter in electrostatics. We will just discuss those few points which are needed to derive equation for electrical capacitance. So those points I'll once again recapitulate, and from there I will draw equation for electrical capacitance. So don't consider that you all know these simple part. Don't consider that you know this. This is slightly different, because from these points we are going to derive equation for electrical capacitance. So don't underestimate these slides. Now see here, we have a charged body. This is charged. We have a charged body. This is charged body. And this is positively charged. Here you have, this is positively charged body, right? As it is positively charged body, there is deficiency of the electrons, is it not? It requires few electrons to get to become neutral. So this charged body, when I am connecting it to the ground, this is ground. When I am connecting it to the ground, as ground is treated to be as abundant negative charged, so it will provide electrons from ground to this charged body. There will be electrons transferred to this charged body such that as it is positive charge, so equal amount of negative charge is transferred from the ground to make it neutral, right? This is already learnt. This is nothing new to you, because these are things we have already discussed in electrostatics. Then what is new here? Now what I do in this is, I'll simply take one bulb. This is an electrical bulb. This is an electrical bulb. You are connecting an electrical bulb in between ground and this charged body, right? As it is positive charge, it is having deficiency of electrons, and this is ground. You are taking this charged body and you are earthing. Earthing is nothing but you are giving connection to the ground through a conducting wire. This is a wire. Now what would happen in this case, as this charged body require negative charges, it draw some negative charges from the ground. So therefore negative charges are being supplied to this body by the ground, and that charge I will be considering it as Q. Okay, so when you are connecting a positive charged body to the ground will provide you charges. As charges are passing through this conductor via this electrical bulb glow, right? And when the electric bulb is glowing, it will provide light energy and heat energy. It is providing light energy and as well as heat energy. As we know, as it is positive charge, the potential of this conductor V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught positive charge plus Q divided by its radius. Let me consider its radius as R. Now this potential is potential of the conductor. I am considering it as Vc, and this is Vg, that is potential of the ground. Clearly, as potential of this capacitor and potential of the ground, if you are comparing, as ground is having greater negative charges, it is treated to be as lower positive potential. This is treated to be as lower positive potential, and this is treated to be as higher positive potential. This is with respect to positive charge, right? Similarly, as far as negative charge is concerned, this is lower negative potential. This is lower negative potential, and ground is higher negative potential, right? So because ground has abundance of free electrons, it can provide electrons to any charged body. Therefore, it is treated to be as higher negative potential with respect to negative charge. With respect to positive charge, ground is treated to be as lower positive potential with respect to the conductor. Now charge, negative charge is being transferred from higher negative potential to lower negative potential. When it is flowing through this bulb converts that electrical energy into light energy and as well as heat energy, right? So therefore here electrical energy is being converted to light and heat energy, right? So points to be concluded in this: whenever you are connecting a charged body to the ground, charge gets transferred either from conductor to the ground or from ground to the conductor. That depends upon the potential of ground and as well as conductor. And when the charge is being transferred through the wire, if you are connecting any consumer over there, in such cases, that consumer will convert electrical energy into light energy or heat energy or any other form of energy. So this is what, when you are connecting a conductor to the ground, this happens. These things we already have discussed in electrostatics, but quite different. We did not connect electrical bulb over here. So it is that when you are connecting an electrical consumer over in this path, that electrical consumer will convert electrical energy into light energy and heat energy. So therefore, whenever electric charge is transferring through a conductor, definitely there will be some heat energy produced in that particular conductor. So we have one more conclusion from this activity. It is that this is a conductor. Conductor is able to accommodate. Conductor is able to accommodate charge on its surface. So it is able to accommodate some extra charge which is being provided by the ground. So that is one more conclusion you can draw from this activity. Students, let us learn one more activity based upon transfer of charge. Now see here, we have two conductors. This conductor has radius R1. This conductor has radius R2. Now potential of the first conductor V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q. I am considering it has some charge, say Q1, divided by R1, that is potential of that conductor. Next, coming to second one, as it has radius R2, it has some potential V2, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge, if I consider same charge on both the conductors, like here and here, in both the cases you have same charge if I consider Q here and as well as Q here divided by R2. Clearly in these two figures we have R2 greater than R1 and remaining all other terms are constants, like see 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is constant, Q is also constant. As we know, potential is V is inversely proportional to R. The one which is having small radius will have greater potential than that of the other. So therefore potential V1 is greater than potential V2. Right? So when we are taking two conductors of different size, potentials of those two conductors are different. As potentials are different, see here for example V1 if I am considering it as plus 10 volt, V1 I am considering it as 10 volt. What about V2? V2 is having some another potential, as clearly I told you V2 is having less potential than that of V1. This will be 5 volt. Clear? So point number 1 to be considered in this is, as the size of the conductor is varied, what is happening here? The potential on the conductor also vary. Because potential is varying, like some bodies will have less potential, some bodies will have high potential. Now coming to this first conductor, I am connecting it to the ground, right? What is its potential? Its potential is 10 volt. And definitely in order to compensate this 10 volt potential, what would happen? Negative charge get transferred from ground to the conductor. So minus Q amount of charge is transferred over here, such that, say for example here it is 10 volt. Now minus Q amount of charge will be transferred to this conductor, minus Q1 amount of charge is being transferred to this conductor, such that its potential tend to become 0, right? Next thing, now you have another conductor in this case. In the second conductor, as its radius is R2, its potential I am considering it as 5 volt, and remember this is also positive charge, so therefore it is having potential 5 volt. As its potential is less, there will be some amount of charge transferred to this, and that charge I am considering it as minus Q2. Minus Q2 amount of charge is transferred to the conductor in order to make this 5 volt 0, right? Now from this activity we are able to draw two conclusions. Number 1, it is that potential depends on size and shape of conductor, right? Number 2, based on potential, charge transfer takes place. Next, number 3. Now as we know, when you are connecting a conductor to ground, when conductor is connected to ground, its V net tend to 0. That means net potential which is present on that conductor becomes 0. So these are the 3 important points which we have concluded from this particular activity. Students, in the first 2 activities, in the first activity you are connecting a positive charged body to ground. As a result, charge transfer takes place by producing heat energy. And in the second example, you are taking 2 different conductors of different size. As their potentials are different, charge transfer takes place from ground to the conductor in order to make its potential 0. That is second activity which we have learned. And from this third activity, what you are doing is, in this third activity we are not taking a charged body. This is neutral. Q net is equal to 0. It is neutral body. Net charge upon this conductor is 0. Q net is equal to 0. As a result, what happened? What is its initial potential? V initial is equal to 0 because it does not have any charge. Initial potential on this conductor is equal to 0. Now what you are doing, you are considering this neutral body. This is neutral body. This neutral body, you are connecting it to battery. You are connecting it to a battery, and this is positive terminal and this is negative terminal. Negative terminal is connected to the ground, right? This is ground. So you are connecting this neutral body by a battery from ground. Okay. Now what happens is this battery will have some potential. Battery potential is non-zero. Like I will be considering its potential as V. Battery has some potential, and let me take this V is equal to 10 volt. Okay. If it is like this total battery, as you are connecting one end to this positive, what it is being considered, it is treated to be as plus 10 volt. Right. Now, what will happen in this case is when you are connecting a neutral body to the battery has a potential of 10 volt. Neutral body has potential 0. Right? Therefore, as you are connecting neutral body to this battery, in order to make potential of this conductor to 10 volt, in order to make this potential to 10 volt, battery will draw some charge from the ground, or battery will take some charge from the conductor and it will give it to the ground. Right? So it is drawing some charge Q from the from the conductor, and it will pump it to the ground, making this neutral body charged. As a result, its potential changes to 10 volt. Right? So this is one important conclusion which you are able to draw from this activity, and it is very, very important. Yeah, see, check it up. We are connecting a neutral body to ground via a battery. Battery has a potential of plus 10 volt, that you are connecting it to a neutral body. Now, point number 1, what you are learning is, first point which you are learning is neutral. As the body is neutral, that neutral body net charge on it is 0. Therefore, initial potential is 0. That's point number 1. Point number 2, when you are connecting neutral body to the battery, what happens is that battery transfer the charge from ground to the neutral body or from neutral body to the ground. That depends upon to what potential you are connecting it to that particular body. Suppose if this battery is having a voltage of minus 10 volt, in such cases, it will draw charge from ground and it will balance, it will transfer it to the neutral body, so that net potential become potential equal to that of battery. So remember that when we connect a neutral body to battery draw charge from conductor and transfer it to the ground. Why it is transferring it to the ground? Because you are connecting it to the battery of plus 10 volt to make plus 10 volt on the surface of neutral body. To make its potential equal to potential of the battery, it is transferring the charge. So what is final potential on the neutral body? Final potential on the conductor become plus 10 volt because battery is having plus 10 volt. Next, point number 4. What is initial charge on the conductor? Initial charge on the conductor is 0 because it is neutral. Now, after you are connecting it to the battery, its potential has become plus 10 volt. Obviously, charge it is being transferring to the ground. Therefore, it gains a positive charge. As a result, what is the final charge on the conductor? Final charge will be plus Q on the conductor. And as charge is transferred from neutral body to the ground, what happens? Heat is being produced within this process. So there is some heat energy drawn over here, and that heat energy is equal to work done by battery. Here battery is doing some work, is it not? What work it is doing? It is drawing some charge from neutral body and it is transferring it to the ground. As a result, work done by the battery is equal to heat produced in the process, right? And work done you can calculate by the basic relation W is equal to VQ. And remember, in this process, as I told you, heat is being produced by drawing some charge from the neutral body. Neutral body is now becoming a charged body. It has some charge Q on its surface. Therefore, this body has potential energy. This body is also having some potential energy, right? So change in the potential energy is equal to work done, right? This is also one more equation you can use, and this is from work energy theorem. Work done by the battery is equal to change in the potential energy of the neutral conductor, right? This is what we can learn from this particular activity, and it's very important. See, in the heading itself, it is been mentioned, a charged plate brought closer to another oppositely charged plate. Okay, so what you are doing is, you are taking a positive charged plate. This is positively charged plate. This is charged plate. Okay, as it is charged plate, it has some electric field, right? It has some electric field, and also it has some electric potential. As it is as it is charged plate, what is its electric field? E is equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. This is on one side of this conductor. So on one side of the conductor, what is its electric field? E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. And what about its potential? You can write its potential, right? E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is equation number 1. Electric field of this conductor on one side. And V is equal to E dot D, or we can write it as V is equal to integration E dot dr. You can find out electric potential from this equation. Just substitute that E over here so that you can find out electric potential. We have already derived electric potential for this plate also. Now what you are doing is, so far what we have learned in the past 3 activities, you are dealing with only one conductor. You are taking a spherical conductor, only one conductor, and we have learned everything with respect to one particular potential point. What I am doing now, you are bringing another plate. This is a plate, okay, and you are bringing a plate of negative charge minus Q, right? What you are doing is, you are taking another plate and you are bringing it closer. See, you are not touching positive plate. You are just bringing it closer to plus Q charged plate with some distance, say D, some D. The separation between these two plates, I am considering it as D. Now what happened when you are bringing this negative charged plate closer to this? Its potential decreases. So previously, what is its potential? V is equal to something like around, I can consider its potential as some 10 volt, for example. Okay. Now what you are doing, when you are bringing a negatively charged body, when you are bringing a negatively charged body or even a neutral body closer to this initial conductor, what happens is its potential decreases. Its potential may decrease to 5 volt, or its potential may decrease to 0 volt, or it may decrease to 8 volt. That depends upon the size of another plate, and as well as what charge it has on its surface, right? So that is the important conclusion which you are drawing from this activity, right? In this particular activity, what I mean to tell you is, point number 1, when a charged body is brought closer to another body which is of opposite sign, its potential decreases. This is point number 1. Point number 2, as net potential of this total system is less, as it is being decreased, it can accommodate more amount of charge on the surface. So as less potential it has, more amount of charge it can accommodate on that particular system. That is number 2. So first point is that in order to decrease the potential of the conductor, you should bring another oppositely charged body closer to it so that its potential decreases. Why you are decreasing the potential on the surface? In order to accommodate more amount of charge on that particular surface, right? So that is the reason why we will be always taking 2 surfaces, in order to accommodate more amount of charge on that particular system. So therefore, a capacitor definitely has two plates, two surfaces in order to increase its capacity, right? This is very important conclusion which you have learned. Now let us learn definition of the capacitance. As I told you, we have a charged conductor. It has some radius r. It has some potential V. What is its potential? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R. R is radius of this conductor. Now from this, what do you write? Q is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R into V. Okay, right? So as you are changing this radius, what happens to this Q? As radius is increased, what happens to this Q? Q value also goes on increase because Q is directly proportional to R and Q is directly proportional to V. If V is constant, Q is proportional to R. If R is constant, Q is proportional to V. Like for V, R is equal to constant. Q is directly proportional to V. That means the charge accommodated on the surface of the conductor is directly proportional to its potential. Now if I remove this proportionality, I should include a constant, right? So that is what Q is equal to. If I include a constant, I am representing that constant as a C and V as it is. Q is equal to CV. And from this you can write C is equal to Q divided by V, which is the definition of electrical capacitance. So electrical capacitor is a device which stores electrical energy at lower potentials, and electrical capacitance is numerically defined as C is equal to Q by V, which is able to accommodate more amount of charge at lower potentials. As potential is less, capacity will be more. C is inversely proportional to V. Right? Capacitance of the conductor is inversely proportional to its potential, and C is proportional to Q as capacity is directly proportional to charge accommodated on the surface. Now as we know, C is equal to Q by V. Q is having unit coulomb, V is having unit volt. So therefore C by V, coulomb per volt, it is called as a farad. It is called as a farad. Farad is a unit of electrical capacitance named after the famous creative scientist Michael Faraday in 1800. So in 1800 itself, he have defined what is meant by capacity and capacitor. He have constructed even. So there are many applications of capacitors. So a radio tuner circuit has variable capacitor. In DC voltages, we use AC. It blocks DC voltage in AC circuits. So this is use of capacitor. Of course, applications of capacitor we will be learning in the next coming slides. And this is symbol of capacitor. Okay, symbol of a capacitor is that this is one plate and this is another plate. These two plates are separated by some distance d. Okay, why you are taking two plates here? For a capacitor, you are taking two plates in order to decrease its potential. Why you are decreasing its potential? In order to increase the accommodation of charge. Why you are increasing the accommodation of charge? In order to increase its capacity. So therefore, this total is a device which stores electrical energy in terms of charge. Right? And this is symbol of polarized capacitor. What is polarized capacitor? We will discuss in next classes. Next is variable capacitor. A capacitor with variable capacity is called as variable capacitor. So these are the symbols of different capacitors which we will be using generally in our lesson.